Hello everyone, my name is Kamal, and in this video I will explain this problem. This problem I have taken from the book Inorganic Chemistry by Huhi. So this is the problem of first chapter, one of the problem of first chapter, and this problem is like this: how many orbitals are possible for n equal to 3, and it also has second part, which of these may be described as Girardet. Okay, now in order to understand this problem we need to know some preliminary things about atom. So in atom we have cells, and each shell is represented by a quantum number called n. Okay, to solve this problem we need to know only about three quantum numbers: principal quantum number, which is represented by n, then we have orbital quantum number, which is represented by small l, and we have magnetic quantum number, which is represented by m subscript l. Okay, there are relations exist between these quantum numbers. I will explain them. Okay, now cells are represented by quantum number n, as I said, and it can take values from 1, n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Now for a particular shell, the number of orbital it can have is n square. Now if you have n equal to 3, the number of atomic orbital it can have is 3 square. So 3 square is equal to 9. Now this is the answer of this question, first part of the question, from the direction of formula. By using this formula you can get to know about this answer. But it may happen that people may ask you, what are these atomic orbitals look like, how these atomic orbitals look like. So in order to know that, you need to know about the relationship between the different quantum numbers. Okay, let me start this. So the in the question it is given n equal to 3. Now the values of l are restricted to 0, 1 and 2, and for each l value I can have twice l plus 1 ml values. Okay, now I have given a table here to explain that the relationship between different quantum numbers. Now the first row is given for the l value. So as I said, there are three l values, so these are 0, 1 and 2 in the first row. In the second row you can see ml values. Now for l equal to 0 you can have only one ml value, that is 0 itself. Now for l equal to 1 you can have 3 ml values, 1, 0 and minus 1. Similarly for l equal to 2 you can have 5 ml values. It will start from 2, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2. Okay, now for each ml value of particular l you can assign an orbital. That is important what I said. For each ml value of a particular l you can assign a atomic orbital. For l equal to 0 you have only one ml value and you can assign an atomic orbital s. For l equal to 1 you have a 3 different ml values, and it can be represented by, or it is represented by, px, pz, py. Similarly for l equal to 2 you can have 5 different atomic orbitals for each ml values. For ml equal to plus 2 you can have a xy, dxy, for 1 dyz, for 0 dz square, for minus 1 dzx, and for l equal for ml equal to minus 2 you can have dx square minus y square. Now for different cell you can have this kind of orbitals. Now to completely define that this belongs to third cell or n equal to 3 cell, you just put that number 3 in front of this orbital. That means the orbitals I will have 3s, 3px, 3pz, 3py, 3dxy, 3dyz, 3dz square, 3dzx, and 3dx square minus y square. Now if we count, I have a 5d orbitals, 3 p orbitals, and 1 s orbitals. In total it constitute the 9 orbitals, which is exactly what we got from the using the formula n square 3 square equal to 9. So now this is the first part of the this is the answer for the first part of the question. So how many orbitals we have? We have a 9 orbitals and 5 d orbitals, 3 p orbitals, and 1 s orbital in n equal to 3 cell. For the second part, Girardet and Girardet and Ungirardet people, and there is another term called Ungirardet. What are the meaning of this term? So these are actually German word, and people use this Girardet for even and Ungirardet for odd. Now the atomic orbitals you can define either Girardet or Ungirardet based on symmetry properties. So this is known as that symmetry property is known as center of inversion. So if you have a center of inversion, then you can call it Girardet, and if you do not have center of inversion, then you can say Ungirardet. Okay, now s orbitals you can have center of inversion, so this is Girard. P orbitals you don't have any center of inversion, so this is Ungirardet. D orbitals again you can have a center of inversion, so it is known as Girardet. So there are two different d orbitals, like the forms you can see different, so both are Girardet. So I hope so you guys will now able to answer the number of orbitals in a particular cell. Also you will be able to know the form of the orbitals if you follow this, and you will also able to know the which one is Girardet and which one is non-Girardet or Ungirardet, because this is important while bonding. Okay, thank you. I'll happy to answer any questions if you guys will ask. I'll be happy to answer that. Thank you again.